The Force of Others, a Star Wars podcast. Hello there, and welcome to The Force of Others. I'm Zachary Owen Turner, and today you'll notice I don't have my co-host Matt Boyner with me. Well, that's because we had such a great interview with the artist Tom Hodges that we decided to make it its own video. We talk about everything from art to Disney parks to Andor to everything. It's such a great interview. It's one of my favorites I've gotten to do, and without further ado, I'm going to send it on over to the interview cantina with me and Tom Hodges. And we're in the interview cantina today with Tom Hodges, amazing artist. Thank you so much for being in the cantina with us. How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so we met Tom at Rebel ScumCon, and we had an awesome little interview, and all of our audio just completely went out the window. So we are so excited to have you on to get to know more about you, for one, and to talk about the things we talked about there. But before we get into all that, you're for those of you who might not know Tom, he's an amazing artist. Do you want to give a little bio or?
Yeah, sure. As far as I worked for Lucasfilm. I did their webcomics for several years, mostly during the Clone Wars. I
Mm-hmm.
started before I actually started before Revenge of the Sith. I worked with the story I worked on was kind of a Rosencrantz and Guildenstern kind of story that went parallel to what was happening in Revenge of the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
Very, at this point, very Legends, if you will, because it involved characters that were kind of their stories were expanded upon post post Revenge of the Sith and within the Clone Wars and everything.
Yeah.
In particular, Barriss Fee and things like that. Then the Clone Wars webcomics, which was for which the first season, which were prequel stories
Mm-hmm.
to the episodes. And it was myself. I was the lead artist. I did half the stories, and the other half were divided amongst Katie Cook, Grant Gould, and Jeff Carlisle.
Mm-hmm.
Season two, it was Katie had went on to do other stuff, and it was myself, Grant, and Jeff Carlisle, and for the life of me, the fourth gentleman, his name is escaping me at the moment. He works for Weta.
Mm-hmm.
And season three was all May and Pablo Hidalgo.
Nice.
And then the fourth season, which I had written an outline and somewhat of a script and started doing layouts. By the time we were getting ready to jump forward into that, it was canceled. So
Oh,
yeah, so
well.
there's a whole other fourth season story that we never got to.
Well,
So
it's never dead, right? It could come back around, or those ideas could be used somewhere,
you
you know.
never know. You never know. You never know with Star Wars. So.
Yeah. Well, before we get into the Star Wars of it all, I was wondering what got you into wanting to be an artist? What got you drawing? What got you, like,
Star
where's...
Wars.
Oh, it was Star Wars. Great.
Here's the thing. Whether I look it or not, I am 53 years old, and I was there opening weekend.
Yeah.
I was 5 years old. We were. I'll tell you the story because this is not what just got me into art. I mean, I was into comics. I love Spider-Man. I love Captain America. I love Batman. But I was little, and so like when you're a little kid, you're always drawing that stuff.
Right.
But when I saw Star Wars, that literally like that's all I was drawing from that point until, I mean, all the time,
Mm-hmm.
all the time. But Memorial Day weekend or that weekend, opening weekend, I can't remember if it was Memorial Day. It was the week before. I can't remember how it worked out, but um, we were on we grew up in Philly,
Mm-hmm.
and we were at the Jersey Shore. We were at Atlantic City, and it was raining the entire weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The whole weekend it was raining. We were miserable. We were stuck in a hotel room. My parents would occasionally escape to maybe go down to the casino or something. But literally, we had like the first night we were there, which was I think Thursday or Friday. We had we were on the pier doing all that stuff, and then it rained the rest of the time.
Wow.
So instead of like just sitting in a hotel, my parents were like, "Let's check out. We'll go home." And on the way home, there was a radio ad for Star Wars, and Dad's like, why don't we take them to go to the movies? Because at the time it was me, my younger brother Brian, my older sister Michelle, and my older brother Steve.
Mhm.
And Michelle's 2 years older than I am, so she was 7, and Stevie was 9.
Yeah.
And so we went to it was the Sam Eric Theater on
Mhm.
Chestnut Street. It's a Wawa now.
Oh,
If you're
wow.
familiar with the area, it's a
Yeah.
Wawa. In fact, the last movie I saw there was me visiting home from California.
Mhm.
The last movie I saw in that exact theater was X-Men,
Oh,
the
wow.
first X-Men.
Yeah.
I
That's
still
awesome.
remember the smell of this theater.
Mhm.
Um, Liang Liang, whatever that smell is, that's what that theater smelled like.
Cool.
And whenever I smell it, it takes me right back to the theater. It was an old school theater. Had the lobby had like the tall ceilings and the carpeting and the big staircase to go to the bathrooms, and it had a curtain. I mean, it was like one of them old school movie theaters.
Yeah.
And that's where I saw Star Wars. I also saw. I mean, before that, I saw Jaws. No, I saw Jaws in like drive-in.
Mhm.
But I saw Close Encounters there. I remember seeing that there. I saw King Kong, the one with Jessica Lange and Jeff Bridges. I saw that in that theater when I was a kid.
Cool.
But that my dad distinct has told me on multiple times whenever I talk about this, he just remembers looking down at me and me like not breathing for 2 hours. Like I like didn't blink, didn't breathe for 2 hours,
Yeah.
and when it was over, I was like, I want to see it again. I want to see it again. And my mom took everybody else home, and me and my dad saw it again.
Oh,
Got back
that's
in line and saw it
awesome.
again. So Star Wars is why I do what I do,
Yeah.
through and through. Like from the get go. Somewhere there is a children's storybook floating around this universe,
Mhm.
and I can't remember the exact name of the book. But if I see it, I always I remember it. It was a storybook. It was and in the first, you know how like when you open up a kid's storybook, there's like two blank white open pages.
Yeah.
Well, on those two white open pages is my version of the Star Wars poster. With
Mhm.
Luke and somewhere in the universe that book is floating around, and my drawing is in it.
Yeah.
That was like the first star. I came home and that was the only piece of paper I had, and I drew in it.
Yeah. That's
So
awesome.
that's floating around you. So that's what got me into art. That's why I do what I do.
Mhm.
So, you know.
Well, listeners, if you have that book, reach out to us and we'll get it back to Tom.
Let's put it this way: if it survived anywhere,
Yeah.
I would be shocked. I mean, we're talking about a close to 50-year-old book at this point.
Right. That's awesome. So you're the OG fan. You're part of that.
Since the beginning.
Yeah.
Since the beginning.
That's awesome. Well, I was wondering also if you could tell us about. I mean, everyone hears the story about the theme park that you designed, and everybody's seen. I remember seeing the art when I was young and being like, "Oh my God, this is the coolest thing! Why haven't they made this yet?"
Can I ask you something? How old are you?
I am 32.
You're 32, so you were 22 when it came when I did the. Well, no. Oh, geez. Okay, that was 15. This was the Dream Park map was 15 years ago,
Yeah. So I was probably in high
2010. So
school, and
you were in high school. Okay.
yeah, and I just remember being like, "Man, this is awesome! We need to make this right now." So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about your thoughts behind it, what inspired it,
I can
just that whole
absolutely.
story.
I mean, I'll tell you. I mean, like we talked about it at Rebel Scum Con. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm gonna talk about. So at that point, I've been doing a lot of stuff for Lucasfilm. At that point, that celebration would have been I've been to every celebration at that point except for
Wow.
Japan.
Hmm.
Um, I had been to Celebration One as a fan, Celebration Two as a fan. Celebration Three was my first as a guest, as an artist guest, and then I did LA, and then I think LA, and then it was Celebration Orlando. This is where I did the math.
Yeah.
I'm an unapologetic Disney adult.
Hmm.
I'm an unapologetic Disney fan, but I'm also a gigantic Star Wars fan. So I went to I think I talked at the time because he was and has fan relations and very good friend Steve Sansweet, and I said to him, I go, I really want to do something different.
Hmm.
What do you think of this? And I showed him the rough, and the rough I have in my portfolio. No one bought the rough at Rebel ScumCon, which is surprising because it's the year. I call it my John Hench sketch. Now, if you're not familiar with John Hench, and if you are, I'm going to explain it to him anyway for the
Yeah.
listeners. John Hench was the man that Walt Disney went to and said, listen, Monday morning, I'm going to the bank and asking for money
Mm-hmm.
for this, for my idea. You and I are going to a cabin this weekend. I'm going to tell you what I envision, and you're going to draw it.
Cool.
And it is the John Hench sketch is the sketch that sold the bank to give Walt the money to build Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
And my John Hench sketch is what I call it, is just on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of copy paper.
Wow.
It might not be, it might be cardstock. Who knows? I'd have to look at it again. It's over here. But if that would be my John Hench sketch. This was the idea, and I showed it to Steve, and he's like, "Go to licensing, see what they say." He walked me to licensing because this
Wow.
was at the Presidio,
Yeah.
and I said, and at the time, the people who were all there at the time are no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
I showed it to her, and she's like, "Yeah, this is cool. Keep, like, let's see where you go with this. Let's see what you come up with." But then I started doing a lot of research, and my friend Stan Stice, who basically, if you're familiar with Stan, you might not be, but you would be familiar with his work. He's the one who did his publishing company did the art of Ralph McQuarrie books,
Mm-hmm.
and him and John, his partner, would they handled Ralph's, like, convention appearances and things like that.
Yeah.
Basically, like his art reps, if you will. The ones who, like, in charge of, like, at that particular celebration were in charge of um, the Ralph McQuarrie Museum.
Mm.
That George, like, I held in my hands the very first Star Wars sketch, which is like this big,
Oh my
and
gosh.
all it is planets. And it's the opening scene sketch that he drew from George's, like the type of thing that's insured for like $1 million, and it's literally like this big.
Oh my gosh.
It's one of those types of things, and it was like I held it in my hands at that convention. But anyway, I'm going. So I did a lot of research. I looked at a lot of Disney park maps
Right.
because the initial view was like the Hench sketch. It wasn't like a bird's eye view. It was more of like you're looking from like a hilltop and you're looking towards it.
Right.
Um, so I decided to base the map on old Disney park maps, and they're still kind of the same thing now. They still
Mm.
kind of look like that, but I really went all out. Like I I I designed the map. The center of the park, which with Disney parks is the castle.
Right.
I made it the Jedi Temple.
Mm-hmm.
Where the Haunted Mansion would be is the Geonosis Hive, like, which would be like a haunted hive type of thing.
Yeah.
Um, where Space Mountain was the Death Star run. It
Mm-hmm.
was called the Death Star Trench Run, and so on and so on. And there's restaurants like Chewy's Barbecue and the Jabba's Palace Grill and the Naboo, and then there's like a submarine ride, which was like Naboo Underwater Adventure,
Yeah.
Gungan Adventure, so on and so forth. And around it, I did very animated looking versions of characters: Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, General Grievous, Darth Vader, all around. So
Mm-hmm.
there were characters represented all the way around,
Right.
just like a Disney park map. And then Lucasfilm was like, "Great, awesome, go with it." And I hand painted this thing, for the exception of a few details. This thing was painted on a I want to say it was like 50 by 30 something cold press board, watercolor
Ooh.
dyes, inks, whole 9 yards. The only thing that's not on the actual board
Mm-hmm.
is the berm, which is what they call it at Disney, which is what hides the park from the outside world.
Gotcha.
That was done digitally. The characters were done digitally and put on there, inserted, and so was the border that they're on. And I believe that's it. I believe that's all that's not on the actual artboard. And a gentleman in Arizona owns it. He, like George, decided not to buy it. The
Mm-hmm.
gentleman in Phoenix bought it.
Nice.
So, who's the collector? Like, whatever at the time when I was doing a lot of Star Wars, whatever George passed on, he had first dibs on,
Wow.
and he usually bought everything.
Yeah.
Um,
The dream.
If you can do it, I highly recommend it.
Right.
So then as we got closer, I mean, and when I say closer, I was like, I want to do something more.
Hmm.
But then I'm like, what if I did attraction posters? Like the show
Yeah.
was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or was it? But it wasn't Memorial Day weekend, so the show was on Monday as well.
Yeah.
So um, basically, what I did 5 attraction posters.
Hmm.
I did. Wait, hold on. I did Hoth, Jabba's Palace Grill. This was the first set. Coruscant,
Hmm.
Death Star Trench Run, and I believe there's one more. There was one more. I just can't remember off the top of my head at the moment what it was. But what I did was I gave away each day at a particular time.
Hmm.
I gave away because the prints, the full map prints, limited to 250 plus your artist proofs,
Right.
which I still have a handful of. And the attraction posters were limited to 250, but I gave them away for free.
Cool.
So each day, I had a line around the convention center every day to get a free poster
Yeah.
that correlated with the print.
Hmm.
So every day, but the fifth poster, which was the Hoth poster, um, wasn't a giveaway. It was a scavenger hunt,
Cool.
and I would post like hints on social media,
Hmm.
and like I worked with like Acme Archives, a couple other retailers, a couple other booths, a couple other artists, where I was like, would you like here's some posters
Yeah.
and everyone was like, yeah, heck yeah, let's do it, like absolutely. So like if you figured it out, you would go at this point and grab a poster.
Cool.
That's the way it worked out. So that's what we did. And then there's a video somewhere on YouTube at the end of the day, on the last day, everyone who won a poster or who won like I can't remember exactly how I did it, but they had to come back to the booth at a certain time, and we sang the Yub Nub song together.
Cool.
And as we did it, and someone was recording it, as we did it, out of nowhere, an Ewok just starts dancing through the group of people, and I lost it. I was just hysterical.
Yeah.
It was great. It was real. It was a lot of fun. Probably my most fun celebration. That was also the year that the Commander Ganch figure sideshow did my Commander Ganch.
Cool.
So besides the map and everything, and like the map comes from my love of Star Wars, my love of Disney, my love of Disney parks,
Hmm.
and just that's what fueled it. And we're talking 2 years before Disney bought Lucasfilm.
Right.
So at the convention, I had the map on display behind me.
Yeah.
Just coincidentally, because it was Orlando and Disney parks and everything, literally Imagineering had a giant booth right next to mine.
Wow.
So every day, an Imagineer would walk up and go, "Can I come look at this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." And then every day, a different Imagineer would come by with the guy from the day before going, "Can we?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. Just come on."
Yeah.
And they would talk to me about it and ask me about this, and then like I had my portfolio out
Uh-huh.
with a lot of the artwork that I'd been bringing to shows,
Hmm.
with like what the ride cars look like literally Rebel ScumCon was the first con I had since probably this particular celebration had this artwork on display,
Right.
and I brought it out, and like they would look at like because it had the ride car for the Hoth attraction, and how the Wampas were set up, and like basically the idea behind the Wamp, there was a petting zoo with animatronic Star Wars creatures,
Cool.
but a broken cage and wall was broken, which is why the Hoth attraction, the Wampas were in the attraction.
Cool.
That's what
Like Splash
escaped.
Mountain, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah. Or the
not so
Yeti?
the Matterhorn.
The Matterhorn. Yeah,
The
sorry.
Matterhorn or Kilimanjaro.
Right, right,
Not
right.
Kilimanjaro, at Mount Everest,
Yes, yes, yes,
the
yes.
Expedition Everest attraction. And there were three of them, three
Cool.
Wampas loose. I also have two AT-ATs in that attraction.
Cool.
So, again, before Galaxy's Edge. And so it's like there's a lot of things in that map I
Hmm.
see in Galaxy's Edge.
Right.
And I have been told by Imagineers on two separate coasts that that map was hanging up in Imagineering
Oh,
when
that's
they were
awesome.
working on Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
And that makes me very happy.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. I mean, you're like you're officially, just so influential on two things that you love. That's a dream.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'd like to think so. I mean,
Yeah.
whether it's true or not, who knows?
Yeah. Well, getting into you as a fan, we've already learned where you were when you first saw Star Wars, but what is your favorite Star Wars hero?
Ooh, and this is new.
Ooh, spicy.
Andor.
Oh yeah, that's a great take. That's a first, I think, for the show.
I here's the thing. Before that, I would have probably said, and I am one of those fans who loves all of it,
Mm,
all of it.
yeah.
Some stuff more than others. Some things like I can tell my like if I told you my top three Star Wars movies, you'd probably be surprised.
Mm,
My top three Star Wars movies are Empire.
mm.
Actually, no, I'm sorry, that is wrong.
Oh,
My top three Star Wars movies, if you're going full saga,
yeah.
Rogue One,
Mm-hmm.
Empire, The Last Jedi, Revenge
Spicy,
of the Sith,
spicy takes.
Revenge of the Sith, and then A New Hope, and so on. Like, I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest, my least favorite is Rise of Skywalker.
Mm,
It's got problems.
it does.
It's still enjoyable,
Yeah.
and there's still things in there like we could talk for hours about what's wrong with Star Wars,
Mm,
but the things that are wrong with Star Wars aren't what people who complain about Star Wars is wrong with Star Wars.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not going to get into it. I don't want to get into that. I mean, we can if you want at some point, but I'm like Andor has become. I've watched this. I've watched both seasons of Andor and Rogue One. Here's the thing: Empire is still my all-time favorite Star Wars movie,
Yeah.
but Rogue One pops in there. Like if I'm in a mood, Rogue One is my favorite, and
Mm,
top tier Star Wars is Andor.
yeah.
Andor is top tier Star Wars, no matter how you slice it. You want? I mean, since it ended, I have binged both seasons into Rogue One 9 times while I'm
Wow.
working because I work from home. I have a TV in front of me.
Yeah.
I watch it. I'm a full time illustrator Monday through Friday. Besides what I do on my own,
Mm-hmm.
so and I work in entertainment marketing. I'm
Yeah.
drawing stuff for everyone from Disney to Prime to Netflix to like whatever studio I'm working for that week. My company, like whatever the client is, I'm always doing artwork,
Right.
but I'm always watching something in the background. And 9 times since it ended, I've watched Andor.
Wow. I mean, it's Emmy award-winning speeches now too.
I'm still really miffed that nobody got acting up.
Me
Excuse me.
too.
Because every one of them deserved it. Everybody.
Yeah.
The fact that Skarsgård didn't get anything for season one with
Yeah.
that one monologue at the end of season one, he should have got it just for that.
When I watched that, I literally paused it because I'm an actor, rewound it, and wrote out the speech word for word because I was like, I need to have this in my possession because it's so good.
It's such a good. I mean, it's so good. Like everything about that series is just everything, start to finish. There's not a like. So I remember watching season one,
Hmm.
and it started slow. It was a slow burn,
Yeah.
but it just kept building and building. And season two didn't stop.
Yeah.
Season two took off and just didn't stop the entire time.
Hmm.
And yeah, so Andor's my guy right now.
Yeah.
Andor, Clea. Oh God, love Clea. Um, can't get enough of her.
Yeah.
I mean,
She
I
could
want to
get
see
her own
her.
season.
She could have her own freaking series at this point because I would love to see what she did. after Yavin.
Yeah.
Like like because she was so instrumental in the rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, the rebellion still went for like 3, 4 more years until, or 3 to 5 years. I don't know what the time span is between A
Right.
New Hope and Jedi, but you kind of hope that she survived. Like, there's a part of me that hopes, like, because of the timeline, she pops up in like the Mando and Grogu movie. You know what I mean? Like she legitimately could be somebody who works for Mon Mothma at that point. You know what I mean? Like,
Matt and I
um,
want to see her train Bothan spies to get the Death Star too.
oh my God, that would be a great freaking series. Oh
Right?
my God, I would watch that all day long. I would watch that. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right? Have her be like
I
a
want to
spy
see,
master.
and like here's the thing, loved Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, super fun.
Skeleton Crew was my childhood movies, The
Mm-hmm.
Goonies, and like it's the like perfect Amblin Star Wars product.
Yeah.
Loved Skeleton Crew.
Mm-hmm.
I loved The Acolyte because of what it brought that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
It didn't contradict anything despite what people say. It contradicted nothing.
Agreed.
And I love, if I'm being completely honest, the only Star Wars thing I have not revisited is Resistance.
It's a little rough.
It's a little rough. There are certain points of it and certain things about it I really dig,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't revisited it. And here's the other thing I haven't watched yet, and it's not for lack of interest, is the Lego stuff, the newer stuff, because
It's
I know
really
people are
fun.
really into. I see, and that's what I need to watch. Like I've seen the holiday one,
Yeah.
the Christmas one they did. I have not seen the last two, and the one that's either just came out or is about to come out. I
I
haven't
think
seen
it
that yet.
it comes out this week, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
So,
I need to. I'm so busy with other stuff right now
yeah.
that like certain like I still have to watch Wednesday, the
Mm-hmm.
second season of Wednesday. I still need to get. I'm an episode behind on Peacemaker.
Oh, it's
The
so
only thing
good.
I'm current on is Alien Earth.
Oh, okay.
So, and I have a lot of thoughts on that. Good ones,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of thoughts. But yeah. So okay, getting back on track because
Yeah.
I'll ramble. You got to reel me in sometimes.
I
I'll
will, I
ramble.
will, I will.
Andor is my guy, and
All right.
Andor. And if I had to say a secondary hero, it would be Obi-Wan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Classic. Yeah. So, you had a spicy take on hero. Who is your take on villain? Who's your favorite villain right now?
I mean, Krennic.
Yeah. He is
He's
so evil.
he he's a POS.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like, and it wasn't so much about what he did in Rogue One. It's him in season 2 of Andor
Hmm.
when he puts his finger on, like, he's oh my God, like, but like I mean, like you can't go wrong with Palpatine, you can't go wrong with Vader, like Vader. And here's the thing, I met Hayden at Phoenix Comic Con.
Yeah.
I had never met him before.
Hmm.
But I was a guest of the show. I had done a really cool print of Vader with the cracked helmet,
Yeah.
like a portrait with the broken helmet. And I also did an Ahsoka like a clone like Ahsoka season 1,
Hmm.
Clone Wars, Ahsoka, Anakin, and Rex
Cool.
piece. And I wanted to give him a couple prints. I'm like, I want, and I gave him, and I did a head sketch of Anakin as well for him.
Yeah.
And I went up, and basically they were like, well, we can't guarantee that you're going to see him. We'll ask his people.
Yeah.
And they took me up before the show opened, and his line was already, I mean, they already had his line set up. And there was
Right.
like hundreds, if not over 1,000 people in this line already.
Hmm.
They brought me to the front, and his rep came out and was like, no, you come back here. And like, because I used to work for Lucasfilm, and
Yeah.
I worked on Revenge of the Sith stuff and Clone Wars stuff, and they were like, yeah, we know who you are. It's cool. And I'm like, really?
You're like, okay.
So I came back, and he was like, hey man, like we talked for like a good 5 minutes or so. Nothing crazy. It gave me art. I told him how that scene at the end of Obi-Wan with the
Mhm.
cracked helmet and how it broke me. That's literally that's why I did that piece, because it just broke me. And he's like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." And like, I was like, and I'm so happy he's getting the flowers he deserves now.
Yeah.
But I said to him, I go, I'm really hoping for that Vader series.
Hmm.
And he gave me this look like he knew something but didn't want to say something. Like like, and he could be just full, playing, just keeping my hopes up. But nothing would be cooler for us to get like a, even if it was like a one season limited
Yeah.
6 to 8 episode Vader series where maybe we get
A
Dr.
2 hour
Aphra
movie
and
even, you
a
know?
2 hour Disney Plus movie, something like
Yeah.
I don't need it to be forever. I just need, but I mean, like I'm also hoping for, we already know we're getting him in season 2 of Ahsoka. I'm hoping for a really cool flashback with
Hmm.
him, Obi-Wan, even
We're gonna
Padme.
get it. It has to
Because
happen.
Natalie Portman's already said on a dozen occasions already, she wants to play Padme again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I've gotten the impression from things I've heard Ewan McGregor say, like that he's been watching the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Why is he watching the Clone Wars? He doesn't have to watch the Clone Wars.
It's like the worst kept secret that he's gonna be in there, right?
It really is the worst kept secret. It really is.
Uh,
Um, so, and it was the worst kept secret that Hayden was in season 1.
right.
So,
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Dr. Aphra, which is one of my favorite side characters. So it's going to tie into our next question for you. Who is your favorite, like, random background alien character or background character that's not one of our mains? I mean, it could be in the cantina, it could be in a space station somewhere. Do you have, like, that one that just, like, captured your imagination?
see, my favorite side character, background character that isn't a main character, um, is Hondo.
Oh, Hondo Anaka.
I really want. I'm Filoni, just put him in season 2 of Ahsoka, please. You know what I mean? Or put him in the Mando and Grogu movie. He's got to show up. At this point, it's ridiculous that he has not shown up yet
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
You
he's in the
know,
parks, so
he's in the parks. That's the other thing. I want to see Black Spire Outpost in a movie.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to see that show up in a film or TV show.
Yeah. Although
So,
if you do Hondo, you got to keep Jim Cummings because that voice is
oh, of
just so
course,
iconic.
of course.
All right. So if you in real life had a lightsaber, what color would your lightsaber be?
Probably blue.
Blue. Yeah.
Yeah, blue. When I built my lightsaber at Galaxy's Edge, I made it blue. So
Nice. Yeah.
yeah.
What style did you go with for your lightsaber?
The Earth, like the very like the natural,
Yeah.
one. I want to build something a little more dark
Yeah.
next time
Get your
because
Sith
they've
version.
expanded on the pieces.
Hmm.
They've expanded on a lot of on the scrap metal.
Right.
So my next saber is going to be one of those.
Yeah.
Something a little more menacing, I think.
Hmm. Well, as an artist, I'm really excited for this next question for you. If you could, or if you do have a Star Wars tattoo, what would it be?
I have a Star Wars tattoo.
Oh, you do.
I do. So when I did the original Clone War, when I did the original Episode 3 tie-in comic
Hmm.
for Hyperspace, this was a Hyperspace exclusive comic.
Yes.
It was telling the story of Aayla Secura's, leading up to her death and afterward.
Right.
And side note on that, um, her Padawan in that comic
Hmm.
was Drake Logan,
Yes. Named after your son. Yes.
named after my son.
Hmm.
Here's the thing: he's also written on the Path in Obi-Wan.
No
His name is on the
way.
Path. So he's
Congratulations.
canon.
That's
So he is
awesome.
canon now.
Yeah.
He's canon, but he was Aayla Secura's Padawan in that story,
Hmm.
leading up to her death, and he escaped.
Yeah.
Him and two other Padawans escaped.
Hmm.
Um, and so Bly was the clone commander. So I was drawing Bly every day
Hmm.
during this time. I'm also a big pinup guy. I love Betty Page stuff, and like if you'll see a lot of my stuff lately, I've been doing a lot of pinup art. I collaborate with this wonderful model photographer
Hmm.
out of Tucson, Ramsey Borrego, and she owns a studio called Flash in the Past.
Cool.
and it's a wonderful pinup studio. She is a modern day Bunny Yeager.
Hmm.
If you're not familiar with Bunny Yeager, look her up. But she and I have been collaborating on a lot of pieces. We did a couple. We have a couple more Star Wars. We have a Star Wars piece that I'll have at LA Comic Con next week, which is
Yes.
um, uh, all next weekend. And I have stickers and such. But also, there's another piece I want to do for Black Friday this year, which it's a fun piece I have in mind. You guys will dig it. Star Wars fans will love it.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm really into pinup
Hmm.
photography and art. So I had a friend of mine, Andrew Whitteman, who is this amazing graphic artist who was doing pinup stuff for years.
Yeah.
And now the last like 10 years or so, he stopped doing that and he makes very high-end custom knives
Cool.
and hatchets and things like stuff that the military would buy, or hunters and things like real shift, like really like I'm over here, I'm gonna run over here, like that type of thing.
Yeah.
But he designed a Commander Bly, Betty Page in Commander Bly
Oh,
armor,
that's awesome.
and I mean this really needs a touch up, big time. Except for the tattoo artist that I got it from, Wendy Ramirez. She has her own studio. She used to be in Southern California. Now she's in Tennessee, I think she's in Nashville.
Yeah.
Um, but at some point, I need to get it touched up, whether
Right.
she does it or somebody else does it. Um, but anyway, yeah, that's my Star Wars tattoo. I would like to get something else. I just don't know what I would get.
Mm.
And here's the other thing: I don't keep my own art.
Yeah.
I don't really have my own art. If I'm being honest, the other thing I would put on myself that's Star Wars would probably be a pinup, another
Hmm.
pinup, and it would probably be one of the RSO girls. And the RSO is the Republic Service Organization that I came up with for the Clone Wars webcomic.
Hmm.
That Filoni and Lucas were like, yeah, run with it. It's like the USO, but
Yeah.
for the clones.
Cool.
And they were like, yeah, all right, do it. So they let me do that, and I designed. I mean, if I I can send you the image if you want to splice it in here, but like I've done like pinups of a couple of the girls, and Ramsey has been the one who I've been doing a lot of, and she's going to be, because we've done a lot of like photography. She's done a lot of photography for me of her
Yeah.
in particular poses and stuff. But like I did nose cone art on a
Hmm.
Republic gunship as a sticker and a print, which I'll have at LA Comic Con. So,
Yeah. It's beautiful too. I saw that earlier this week, and if I was at LA Comic Con, I would be stopping
yeah,
by.
I'm a really big fan of the pinup art, so that's why I have the tattoo,
Mhm.
and that's like that's one of those things that I really enjoy doing.
Yeah. Well, this next question is some people have taken it more philosophically. Some people have done in universe. Some people have done out of universe. So, for you, what is your favorite Star Wars story?
I'm going to be biased here, and it's the
Yeah.
one that didn't get done.
Uh, your fourth season?
And I can tell you what it is. I can tell you about it.
Yeah.
So the fourth season. See, the first season we did stories that ran parallel, well, that were prequels to each episode of that season of season one of the Clone Wars. That was
Right.
what we did for season one. Season two, we decided that we were going to do an original story that ran parallel with the season,
Mm-hmm.
which is where I got to introduce Pablo Hidalgo and I co-created Jedi Master Keelivine
Mm-hmm.
Ruiz, Tyson Zebek, which was her Padawan, who was a Zabrak,
Mm-hmm.
and Commander Ganch,
Mm-hmm.
which was a clone commander that we collaborated on. And that was the one that became the exclusive sideshow figure at Celebration Orlando.
Right.
And season two and three were original stories. Season three's story was a summer story that ran between seasons two and three. And we got to use Obi-Wan, Anakin, Ahsoka, and Asajj Ventress was the main villain.
Cool.
And I got to create bounty hunters that she hired. One of which looks eerily like the brother from season one, the Twi'lek brother in season one of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the same. It could be the same guy. It's just they look a lot alike.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. And I'm not insinuating that. I mean, it could be anybody, but
Yeah.
they very similar vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I got to do that, and then the season 4 one, Pablo was like, "Well, do you have something you'd like to do?" Like, I really do. I have this idea for how Ganch became a commander.
Cool.
Before he was a commander, he wasn't just a standard clone. He was a Republic commando.
Cool.
And what he was involved in was he was involved in a rescue mission to save Bail Organa
Mm-hmm.
from a separatist, from the separatist. He got kidnapped, and him and his team had to go after him. And what happened is, at some point, that separatist ship was severely damaged in a battle with pirates.
Yeah.
So basically, Bail Organa is stuck in a brig on a ship that is quickly losing its life support, that has no engines, that has pirates scavenging through it,
Mm-hmm.
and they're running out of time. So basically, him and his team get on that ship. They have to go through. It's like, and what inspired it was the Republic Commando game.
Yeah.
That's what
Great
inspired me
game.
to go in this direction. Um, and I'm not going to give out all the details, but long story short, he is the last surviving member. He rescues Bale. He's the last surviving member, but in the process, an EMP as was set off, that he set off to, number one, to stop the droids that were coming in, because the separatists, they came out to get Bale too. It's kind of like a race against time type of thing.
Right.
So he's fighting pirates, separatists, bounty hunters, and he gets them out and he sets off an EMP. But what happens is the EMP also malfunctions his chip.
Oh, cool.
So at the end of the story, because he's telling this, because they're sitting around a campfire after a battle they had just won, they're all sitting around. He's telling the story of how, because it's him and, like, 4 or 5 other clones, one of which was a clone, another clone I helped design, Squawk.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Keely Vine and Tyson are sitting there, and Keely Vine asks him the question about, so how did you get to this point? Like, how did you get to this point? And he tells the campfire story. And he tells this whole story about Bail Organa,
Yeah.
and the RSOs in the background doing their thing, helping them, giving them meals and tending to any wounds or anything like that. And then, as they're sitting there, at the end of the story, he's finished telling the story, and he gets the Order 66 in front of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And as the other 5 or 6 clones around him go to draw their weapons on Tyson and Keely Vine, he draws out his blasters and kills all of them. And he says, "Go,
Ugh,
run," and that's where it ends.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, I spoiled the whole story. I mean, I spoiled the
That's
whole
so
story,
good.
but that's how the story ends. Like that,
Yeah.
and that's my favorite story because it hasn't been told. And I've said to myself, if I ever find myself with a little bit of time, I could do, I could tell it like a storybook on, like, social media,
Yeah.
where I could tell, like, one page would be the story and then just an image. Like, I don't think I have the patience to do a full comic.
Mm-hmm.
I could see doing like a book, like something at like a con where, like, I do, like, I print up like 100 of them and give them out
Right.
to people who buy things. I wouldn't sell it,
Yeah.
but also put it online. Do like an ash can, one of them, like, small little booklets, like almost like a sketchbook.
Yeah.
That would probably be the route I would take if I ever did it.
Oh,
I'd give it away,
yeah.
because that's essentially what the webcomic was. It was free online.
Mm-hmm.
So the sad part about the webcomic is you can't find it unless you really dig deep
Yeah.
in the internet.
There's a thing called Internet Archive. I wonder if it's on there. If you
It might
could.
be.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that's where people have been finding it.
Yeah.
So, I've seen pages and panels online,
Mm-hmm.
and I look at it and I'm like, I would love to just redo the whole thing of the comic, because I went with a particular style because of the show.
Right.
But now, like, That's one of the other things. If you come like my booth at my banner is Keely Vine and Ganch,
Mm-hmm.
and they're more of like the style I use at work, which is more photo real in a sense.
Yeah.
And Ramsey, who I mentioned earlier, the pinup, she was my model for Keely Vine.
Oh,
Now,
awesome.
like the more modern version, the original model was Rachel Weisz,
Oh, cool.
like
Yeah.
the mummy time
Iconic.
Rachel Weisz.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was who I based her look on.
Mm-hmm.
And her lightsabers are very unique. To this day, I want to get one of these saber companies just to make them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's what it looks like. Make them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or I have one of a gentleman I work with, Jonathan. He's our 3D modeler at work. And I'm like, if I sent you the illustration and what it looked like and how big it is and everything, could you 3D model? Like, yeah. So I get someone to print it out at least, maybe get a mold made so I can at least have them on display, get them professionally painted to make it look like metal. You
Yeah.
know, it's I've always wanted her lightsabers almost because she's got two.
Right.
And there's a whole thing where like there's a whole thing in the second season comic or third season comic where she's talking to Obi-Wan in the archives, and they're standing in front of Dooku's bust and they have a whole conversation about Dooku.
Yeah.
Because she was lightsaber trained under Dooku,
Mm-hmm.
which is what leads to the big duel between her and Asajj Ventress in the comic. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
But
I
if you want to go canon stories, I can't. If I'm being honest, Andor,
yeah.
the entire Andor story arc from season one all the way through,
Mm-hmm.
it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, that was some gold. I'm in my feels that made me tear up. So we'll continue in the feels for the next question and our last of our regular interview questions. But what does Star Wars mean to you?
This is tough,
Mm-hmm.
and not tough because it's a hard question to answer. It's like because I may get emotional.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my dad um, February 2nd, 2022. Of course, my dad would die on 2/2/22 on Groundhog's Day also. When he died, I was not with him when he passed away.
Yeah.
But when he passed away, he was watching Empire.
Wow.
And I remember being in first grade and him pulling us out of school to get in line at the Cherry Hill Mall to go see it. So it means everything.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's. Thank you for sharing. That's so sweet. I mean,
And that's why, if you don't like something, that's okay. Don't be a dick about it. You know?
yeah.
You don't like that. You don't have to like this Star Wars. You don't have to like that Star Wars. You don't have to like if all you're into is the original trilogy, if all you're into is the prequels, or if you're a new fan, it doesn't matter. You can't piss on other people's joy.
Yeah.
And it can't be said any better than that. That's the way it's the way I always don't piss on other people's joy. If you don't like something, and here's the thing, I'm as guilty as anybody in the past of being that guy,
Mm-hmm.
but not about things like this. Not about things like this. Not about things like Star Wars, Marvel, DC. Like if you love the Snyderverse, that's awesome. Don't piss on the fact that people like the new stuff.
Yeah.
If you don't like post Endgame, that's okay. Don't mess with other people's enjoyment of it.
Yeah.
That's how it is. You know what I mean? And Star Wars, like I said, I enjoy all of it, some more than others. I every time, even like Rise of Skywalker, I can find several things about the Rise of Skywalker. Like here's the thing: nobody bitched when they cloned Palpatine in the books.
There was how many
Nobody
books
bitched
about
about
it?
that.
20, 50?
Nobody bitched about it. But they do a movie and they bitch about it, that's one of the things I do love about post film Star Wars and like the expanded universe. And here's the thing: as someone who's 95% of their work is in the old Star Wars universe, the old Star Wars EU,
Mm-hmm.
I love that they scrapped everything.
Mm.
I love that they went clean slate
Yeah.
because now when you're watching it, if you're somebody who watches and reads and everything and plays all the games and you see little things, you're like, oh, they did that. Oh, they can't. You know what I mean? Like things that were in the comics or in the old books. And there's so much stuff they're going to bring in here and there, and they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
You have to, you know what I mean? Like if you like a particular character and they don't come back, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's all right. We're going to get through it. You know, I know. I mean, like, I love Mara Jade. Great. You still have those stories. That was the one thing that was I always appreciated when I worked at Lucasfilm. When they scrapped the EU, and everyone's complaining, it's like, you have to look at it like this. When a story is passed down from generation to generation to generation, it's not always told accurately.
Yeah.
Campfire stories.
Yeah.
Which is what my fourth season story was called.
Mm-hmm.
Campfire story. And so like not everyone's going to get the story right. And that's the way that Lucasfilm and George always described the EU.
Mm-hmm.
Even before they wiped everything clean.
Yeah.
Because they were planning on doing that before Disney.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to happen. When George was planning to make his own sequel trilogy, they were like, "We need to tighten this all up. I want everything to connect. I want everything to be. So we're gonna do this."
Yeah.
And they don't talk about this because they don't have to. But everyone blames Disney for these things. It's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to look at these like campfire stories. Some of the information is true from a certain point of view.
Right.
And that's just the way it was always described.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it was always described to me directly from Lucasfilm, through George.
Yeah. Mm. Well, that was amazing. Amazing response and really.
Sorry, I had a moment.
No. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Here's to your dad.
Yeah, he's why I love Star Wars because. I mean, he was there. I mean, like I couldn't ask for more supportive parents.
Yeah.
I mean, like most parents, like and honestly, had I stayed put back east, like I up and picked up everything by myself when I was in my mid-20s and moved west
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to go work for ILM or Lucasfilm and things like that. Like that was my goal. Like that's why I left back east and I wanted to be an artist and everything. Like my dad. Blue collar through and through. My whole all my family is like I have like one uncle who's like in computers and that type of thing. Everybody else is blue collar, siding, roofing, HVAC units, stuff like that. They do that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was the artsy one. You know what I mean? I was that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And you did it.
I broke, yeah, and I did it, and they couldn't be prouder, all of them,
Mm-hmm.
all of them. So,
Yeah.
so that you know what I mean. They love to brag about me, So whenever I did something in Star Wars, or whenever I did, or when I'm, even with my current job, when oh, that's my concept for that Disney Zombies poster, or that's my concept for Doctor Who, and like things
Yeah.
like that, they'll talk about it all day. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, speaking of families, that brings us into our ridiculous Wrat-tar question, which I actually have centered around families. The ridiculous Wrat-tar question is a random hard trivia question that if you get right, amazing. You have all of the props for being a super Star Wars fan. If you don't get right, it's also okay because that means that you have a life. So
I'm going to warn you right now. As far as it goes with the books and comics, I'm really behind.
Well, it's from
either
the
behind
movies.
or have not read. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, I can't promise it's going to be. I'm going to answer this correctly, but hey, who knows?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, I was inspired. So, for our fans that don't know, you were the first person to create a female Mandalorian.
That is true. The first visually depicted female Mandalorian. Yes.
And you named it after your wife.
Yes,
And then
Vontae Turfo, because Karen Travis had informed me that there is no there's no F's in the Mandalorian language at that time. I mean, it probably changed at this point. So like things had to be done phonetically with different. Yeah, I don't know.
right.
So yeah.
And then we've already talked about named characters after your son. And so our ridiculous hard question is, what are the two characters George Lucas named after his son?
Oh, Dexter Jetster.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one's named after Amanda, I think.
It's still both are after Jet.
Oh, both are after Jet. So
Yeah.
Dexter Jetster. It wasn't. I mean, it's not Jar Jar because Jar. I mean, I know he had. I know Jar Jar was inspired by. I'm friends with Jet actually. Oh wow, who is the other one? Is it his Jedi character?
It is, yeah.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
It's Zet Jukasa.
That's it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Totally.
Well, we'll give you that one. I did not expect you to pull Dexter Jetster out of the air like that. So.
Yeah, that was. I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest, that was pretty easy. I'm not gonna
Oh
lie.
well, there we go.
But I like his Jedi name escaped me for a moment.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, speaking of games, now we're gonna play a blind ranking game. And as you were an artist, I thought we would have you blind rank 5 Star Wars concept artists. So I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
So that way, because I have created.
Let's put it this way: number one's going to be open unless it's some one particular person shows up. So.
Yeah.
And then when that one particular person shows up, Doug, we're going to put at number 2.
Number 2, absolutely. So Doug, we have at number 2. Next, you have Ian McCaig.
Number 3.
Number 3. All right. So Doug's at 2, Ian's at 3. Number 4, Jake Loon Davies.
How many of this is 5?
There's
we're
5,
doing?
yeah.
We'll put him at 5.
Put him at 5. Alrighty.
Yeah.
So we have Doug at 2, Ian at 3, Jake at 5. Next, we have Joe Johnson.
4.
4, which means that your number 1 is, of course, Ralph Mcquarrie.
Who I knew.
Yes. Oh, you knew Ralph?
I knew Ralph. If you have a moment for a couple of quick stories,
Yeah,
I was at his birthday
of
party.
course.
His birthday party, which was also attended by Dave, Phil Tippett. Phil Tippett brought in this beautiful framed, like I want to say like 3x3 square photograph of him, Lorne, George, Dennis, from Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And I also took Ralph to the Presidio for the first time.
Wow.
There's a great picture. I'll have to send it to you. It's a picture of me, Ralph, and Dennis Murin in ILM. Now the story behind it is Ralph had not been to Presidio. I took him along with John Scolari and Stan Stice.
Mm-hmm.
We took him this because it was the first time to Presidio, and while we were there, Dennis Murin was there, and he hadn't seen Ralph since Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Wow.
So, and this was 2008
Mm-hmm.
or 2007. Let's put it this way. Yeah, it was 2007. I'm going to tell you why. Because we went into ILM, and the room we were working in, and it was not a huge room.
Yeah.
So in the picture, behind me, they're working on Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Mm-hmm.
Behind Ralph, they're working on Star Trek, J.J. Abrams' first Star Trek.
Wow.
And on this side of us, they're working on Iron Man.
Oh my gosh.
The shot, and I can tell you the exact shots they were working on. On Iron Man, they were working on the gimbal shot when he's getting the suit, the final suit put on him for the first time, the first red and gold suit.
Right.
Over here, they're working on the opening scene with Hemsworth
Mm-hmm.
with the attack.
Yeah.
And over here, they're working on the jungle drive chase,
Cool.
Crystal Skull. So that's what. And there's and the picture is my and my wife shot the picture. Perfect timing, because it's Dennis and Ralph laughing. Because I asked Dennis, I said, "So when you're driving your car, do Oscars roll around the floor like empty Snapple bottles?" And he thought that was funny.
Yeah.
So I got a laugh out of Dennis Murin and Ralph McQuarrie. But that we took Ralph to the Presidio,
Hmm.
but we also not long before he passed took him to the Walt Disney Family Museum.
Cool.
My wife and I were charter members, so we when when you have a membership, you're able to bring like 4 or 5 guests.
Yeah.
So it was myself, Dan, um, my wife, Ralph, and a couple other Clone Wars guys, a couple of the other Clone Wars artists. Who? Excuse me, I'd have to look up who it was. It was a couple of the guys. Um, but we took him to the Walt Disney Family Museum, and he had a freaking blast.
Hmm.
He loved it.
Yeah.
He loved every second of that place. And I have pictures of that too somewhere of us at the museum.
Yeah.
And then like I said, his birthday party and I got to know Ralph pretty well and
Yeah.
his wife. Um, and broke my heart when he passed, but he had a lot of health issues at that point. So,
Yeah.
but no, Ralph was amazing. I got to know Ralph pretty well.
Hmm.
I haven't gotten to get to know Doug.
Hmm.
But I know Ian.
Yeah.
I know Ian very well. We still keep in touch. In fact, he had a little after Revenge of the Sith came out.
Hmm.
He did a little thing amongst his friends, Star Wars artist friends, and I was lucky enough to be one of them, where he put out, "How would you redeem Jar Jar Banks?"
Cool.
And my theory was that he went back to Naboo and went back to Undagunda,
Hmm.
and he hid Jedi.
Oh, cool.
He
He could
hid
be part of
Jedi.
the
That was
path.
he was that. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like in my head canon, and this is before there was a path.
Yeah.
He was part of the path. Like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
essentially, if you want to go with current canon, he was part of the path.
Cool.
Sadly, they made him a street clown, and
Yeah.
it's kind of sad the way they diminished him.
Hmm.
But I mean, what are you gonna do?
Unless that's a cover. We could still
Such a
redeem
cover.
Jar Jar.
We still redeem Jar Jar. But I remember I did a sketch of him, and Ian was like, I love that. He was like, I love that for him.
Hmm.
So
Oh,
yeah, so it was like, how would you redeem Jar Jar? And that was my redemption for Jar Jar.
yeah. Oh, well, this has been so amazing. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
Every single like sentence out of your mouth has just been gold and just so amazing. So thank you. We'll definitely want to have you back on if you're willing.
Oh,
We're
absolutely, yeah.
we're gonna do a whole, I think. So Matt doesn't like Last Jedi, and I love Last Jedi. So we're
Love the
eventually
Last
going to
Jedi.
have a Last Jedi debate. So maybe we'll bring you back on for that,
Yeah.
because it gets a lot of hate.
It gets a lot of. Here's the thing: it gets a lot of hate for the wrong reasons.
Yes.
It gets a lot of hate for the wrong reasons. Um, and we're not going to get into it now because I could talk forever about it.
We'll save that for next time.
Yeah.
We will probably have this up on this coming Friday. So if you listener are watching right now and are in LA, go check out Tom's booth at LA Comic Con. If there's anything else you want to say about that.
Booth L26 in Artist Alley in the Ratia hall.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done the con. I haven't done this particular con in a couple years. So like apparently Artist Alley is in the same area as the celebrity autographs and photo op section.
Cool.
So it's completely different. This is new to me, so I'm really looking forward to it. I'll have a bunch of cool Star Wars stuff. I will have I will be bringing that artwork that I still have from the Dreampark map. I'm not bringing any maps this show,
Mm-hmm.
so I apologize for that. But that may change. I'm still debating on whether or not I'm going to or not. If I do, I'm only going to bring like two or three. But I'll have the RSO nose cone pinup art
Yeah.
and some really cool Star Wars stickers, and yeah, and my Instagram has pictures of everything. So
Awesome. Well, thank you again. I'm gonna send it back over to Matt and I in the main show, and we'll talk with you real soon. Send it on over to
thanks,
Matt.
guys.
Thank you. And a huge thank you to Tom Hodges for being on the episode today. Thank you for your heart and your art, and we will have you on again soon. Dear listener, if this is your first time listening and or watching, this is a lot of what we do. We interview different people to get their perspectives on Star Wars, and we want to hear your perspective on Star Wars. So email us, forceofothersradio@gmail.com, and we will answer questions on the show. We'll be in the comments. We love to interact with you. Next week, we're going to have our first ever franchise fight. It is going to be Star Wars versus Dune. And let me tell you what, I'm excited about it, so you should be too. If you want to watch that, make sure you like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we will see you all very soon. And remember, the force of others will be with you, always. The Force of Others, a Star Wars podcast.